I'm Matt Miller. I'm based out of the East Valley of Phoenix, Arizona, and I've been in real estate for 5 years. What made me want to join was kind of taking a hard look at my business, looking in the mirror and saying like, hey, where do we have gaps? We were doing all the right activities, but I wasn't seeing the conversion that I wanted to see. So to me, that sounded like we had a skill gap. And I'd heard good things about the Real Estate Sales Academy from other agents here at Real, from seeing some content that you and Cody have posted. So it piqued my interest to schedule that first call. I kind of shot from the hip on that. So usually I wouldn't make decisions that quickly, but what actually happened is I had a couple beers and sent an email over to book some time because I said, hey, this is what we need to kind of take our skills to the next level. So it's kind of like jumping off the high dive, man. It's going to feel a little uncomfortable, but you just do it. So I really didn't lurk around a ton. Did my research on Vic and your background and what you bring to the table, and I was impressed. I want to make sure that you've been in production before. I mean, real estate, everything is public, so I was able to see you've done something like over 240 some odd million in sales in the Seattle area. That was important to me because I wanted to make sure that it's somebody who actually has practiced what he's preaching. The most notable changes that I've seen since we started working together have been way more intention with the questions that we're asking when we're on phone calls. That and tonality. I think I came in with a decent sales background. The fine-tuned tweaks that you need to help your tone, whether it's a confused tone or a more direct tone, and then also digging deeper into the questions and really actively listening. Probably the biggest skill that I pulled out is getting past that surface level, especially with prospects when they say something like, oh, we'll move if the time is right. Most agents would be like, okay, that's a nurture. That's a long-term, we back burner. And for me now that turned into, oh, well, like, what do you mean by that? Like, digging deeper to find whether it's an objection or what you've taught us is find the overarching goal. And you don't end the call until you have that at least, because that's going to give you really the keys to the castle of what these people want and how we can actually come from a place of service and help them. Because if we don't know what they're looking for, we can't help them and we're going to sound like every other agent out there. So for me, it's been really going down into like, kind of more uncomfortable levels of questioning and listening to those answers. And it feels really awkward because none of us were taught to do that. But it comes off pretty seamless once you get a few reps doing it. The appointments that I've gone on, especially I would say buyer consults have been the biggest one when I'm going to meet people after we've had that initial phone conversation. We've gotten a lot of the good info we need, and now we're going to go face to face and put pen to paper on a buyer broker agreement. Most of the time, it feels like you're meeting friends that you've known for 5-10 years. I've had folks tell me that like, oh, it feels like we really know you. And I'm like, honestly, I haven't really told you much about me. I've learned a lot about you. That's been a game changer coming in and really meeting somebody and not having them be on defense to start out. They're willing to have a conversation. They know that you have their interests at heart. They know that you kind of get them and get what they're looking for without coming off as salesy, which has been a really big change in my business. So what I've learned from the portal, I mean, I've gone through the portal. I'm on my 4th run through now. I mean, hey, it's there and it's, you get some extra time. I've got a toddler at home when she goes to bed and I've got an extra hour at night. That's what we're doing. The portal content alone would be valuable for folks that are really trying to like dip their toes in and have a good sense of really what the course is about. I do feel like it's best paired with the advanced training because if you're going to do this, commit and actually do it, bring your calls, join there. Even if you're one of those people, there's a lot of them that are kind of shy and don't want to be on camera. It's really important, I think, to hear other agents and their calls and the role plays live. The portal is great, but I think that there is a lot of value in coming to those calls. You can start being a little bit more tactical. For me, a lot of it has been around tonality and not triggering sales resistance with what we say, specifically to open calls. That is something that I learned was probably the weakest point of my business was opening cold calls. So that's something that I've really been focusing on. And the portal has helped me with that, with the trainings that you put together and the resources in there. This is the 4th full month that I've been in there. Really, my business has grown. I mean, my pipeline has grown exponentially. And it's not even new folks coming in. It's being able to re-engage with your sphere, with past leads that have come in and using the frameworks that we've learned. Anybody that's heard Sharon speak, they probably know what the game plan frame is. And it's really easy to understand, but it's really hard to master. And for me, that's what's really helped me start closing more appointments and converting those into business. From just skills that I've learned from here, I have 3 separate escrows in 4 months that I directly attribute to the frameworks that I've learned from the TRIS training. I would definitely recommend if you're on the fence to join here. It's a commitment. And if you show up and do the work, you're going to see results. If you show up and make the calls and contribute, you'll get more out of it than just lurking in the background. I would definitely recommend you do it. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. You're going to get called out, not in a mean way, but with a bunch of other agents who are all looking to succeed alongside you and see you win. So I think the community aspect has been phenomenal. There's some great agents in there who I really recommend. If you're on the fence, this is somewhere you need to be to really take your business to the next level and start seeing the results that you want. If you're on the fence about joining the Real Estate Sales Academy and you've never worked on your sales skills and you're an agent that's doing well, doing okay, maybe not doing what you want to do, book the call and have a conversation. Because I will say that I was, maybe a little hesitant, had a good call with Vic, and just seeing a little microcosm on our 1 hour call of the skills that I've since been taught was worth every penny. So I would recommend, if you're on the fence and you want to grow your business, this is probably the best community to do that alongside other agents that are actually doing this with you, learning from somebody who's been in your shoes.